My name is Jim Lal-Tabak. I'm a yoga teacher, energy healer, and health and wellness coach consultant. Welcome to this energy healing treatment. If you're new, just especially if you're online, you can reach me by direct message if you're on Facebook, or to my website, bodymindmedicine.com. So that said, I want to get started and talk about, well, it's winter, but still the body can get heat in it. And some people need more heat in the winter. That's what what I mentioned, the theme of the meeting was about fire and heat and and oh, just for that ear thing, sometimes I take some eucalyptus or something like that and put it around the ear canal and see if I get some relief with congestion that has gone up into the ear and may dislodge those crystals. So that's just a thought. So you can try to see if that helps. At any rate, heat, back to that. So and fire, we call in Indian medicine, there's um, something that is characterized as fire, but it's not like the fire we know, that's burning in a candle. It's it's activity. It's energetic, more fast-moving types of neurological people who are very quick cognitively and think a lot. That can be considered fiery, or they could have a fiery temper. They might have red and real skin. I mean, they might have inflammation in their body. They also, what else? Well, they might be physically really fit, but not really big, not small, but very like a gymnast. They're kind of agile, and so that's the inside. The outside, I'm just giving you a sort of an overview of, what this fire could be. It could be the hot sun. It could be the time of day. Um, there's a scale between 10 and 2 at night and during the day are considered fire times in circadian rhythm. There are colors. Red, for example, is considered fiery, of course, fruits, vegetables, different things that, spicy food. Someone might have come on that I have to mute. There you go. So there might be different elements outside your body that could influence you, like just like hot weather, or here's the thing. Here's the trickiest part of this. The assessment has to be, well, what do I need? Some people are easily thrown into, a little bit of heat wakes up that in their body. Or some other people are very cool and calm and quiet, and they need a lot more. It really depends on the way your body is built. What they call a constitution in Indian Ayurvedic medicine. So whatever your body tendency is, there's a need. It's really good to have a balance. Not It's not like, oh, heat is bad, or something like that. It's not like that. It's more nuanced with what is the condition right now, and what is necessary to have a balanced system. So that's some of what I'm going to work on today. Any movement generally, not always, but is associated. If you think about molecules and atoms vibrating, movement is generally thought of as associated with fire, because the hotter things get, the more they vibrate. And so we're looking still to balance those levels in the body and the environment. So the environment, there's this feedback loop. What's going on in the body is affected by the outside. What's going on outside affected by your body. I mean, it happens. Or your mindset. So we can influence outside and inside, depending on. I'm wearing a little red right now for a couple different reasons. And one is, it's getting close to the end of winter, and it's also close to Valentine's Day. So a little bit of spice and excitement is good at the end of this cold. We've had, as you know, if you're in the Midwest, we've had a pretty deep freeze, and now it's thawing. So the warmth is going to come back, but we have to. Our systems. That brings me to another thought. Our systems have a thermostat. Our bodies have a thermostat, just like your house does. And in the spring, you might end up turning your thermostat down a bit, right? And so same with the body. We're set up for this really cold right now. We also have layers that we wear, and we might peel a layer off if you layer your clothing, so it's not just hot and all cold or hot. So there's this gradual adjustment. And another thing to think about is eating foods that are good in the season. Seasonal foods can help your body readjust to and fruits, vegetables, things like that, things that come in that time can help you reset. And because you may find yourself, especially in the spring, since it's coming, is congestion. So we want to eat according to nature's, what the nature in our region is giving us, so it helps us adapt. And small greens, certain fruits. In the fall, for example, a good example is apples are a good way to adjust to the changing of the season, because the apples, of course, mature during the fall. And so that's a easy way to understand what I'm talking about with that. So at any rate, I think I've said enough. We got a little bit of we want to get started, and I'm going to start by the idea of spending a little time with resetting our thermostats a little bit. It's not just so, sometimes if it's off anyway, some people, and it also, so I'm going to work on that for a moment. So it relates to your blood thickness, how thin or thick it is. So hydration is really important in terms of if you have a lot of density in your blood, and need to have water to, well, another idea is, when you put out a fire, you throw water on it. But if you don't want to put the fire out completely, which we don't, you add some water. Just like if you're in a sauna and it might heat up a little bit, but if you put too much on there, then all your heat is gone, right? So the heat, the amount of fluid, or if you're fanning a fire, if your fire's out, maybe some movement would be good, and wind can be helpful. And it's not all cut and dried simple. You have to really test your own body and how it reacts to certain stimuli, and whether you're yeah, whether it works for you, because it's not an exact science. It's really science and an art, just as yoga is. It's a science of life, and it's an art of, how do we live in this world, and with a variety of so I don't again, and someone's asking about, well, what do we eat in the winter? And our ancestors did a lot of canning. Um, they But warm cooked foods often are really good for winter, because digestion can slow, so we need to and we might need a little more, oil and things like that to just keep us, uh, how's the right word, settled. Because in the winter, we need to, well, yeah, kapha diet, but it again, it's kapha diet is specific to an individual. So there's really this, it's kind of tricky. That's why you want to, it's good to talk to someone, an Ayurvedic doctor, who can really assess and individually what you need. So I'm going to get back to my the treatment, which is kind of a global balancing of each of everyone who's on the call, and anyone else who's listening on Facebook or YouTube. And we want to think about the balance between, so you're always, in a sense, tweaking your system. Like, well, when I ate that cheese, is it making me congested, right? And you say, well, maybe I shouldn't eat so much cheese right now. And I mean, it's just an example. It's like, some cheese can, some days it can affect you negatively, and other days not. So it depends on what your system is needing at the moment. So really being conscious of what is, how the foods are affecting you, and not eating repetitively is really an important thing. But in the winter, um, your body gets a lot of demands, with the cold. Cold uh, causes your body to have to run hotter, just like you turned up the thermostat in your body. So we don't want to turn it all the way down either. We want, and we don't want to put too many cold things into the body, right? So you want to think about hot foods, spicy foods, not too spicy, depending on how your body reacts to them. You don't just say, well, this is, cayenne pepper. Ah, yeah, that's warming. I'm going to take some. And then all of a sudden your body's going, stop. And so we want to really uh, track what our body is uh, tolerating, what makes it feel steady and stable, and have enough variation. to be able to um, not get caught in a rut, so to speak, in any way. So really, but this is about consciousness, really, consciousness and being aware of what your body, your mind, the environment, what they need. And your body will give you hints, like, oh, I don't feel good today. Well, okay, let's go back. Check it out. What did I do? And it might be something you did or something you didn't do, might be diet, might not. Could be a meaning number of too much activity, not enough activity, right? So it's not this is not a judgmental situation. It's more of it's assessment without blame. So we continue to learn what's good for our whole system, including the outside environment, the planet. Okay, so that was um, reaching for that thermostat, and then so I want to talk about balance. I talked about it, but I want to focus on some heat, hot and cold things. So, and we were addressing heat primarily, but without cold, it's relative, right? So we need to have that balance between cold and hot. See, some people, I mean, I'm a good example of someone that can sit in a steam room for a half hour or more and be really happy as a clam. And I know other people that go in there and within 5 minutes, they've got a headache or they're overheated and everyone's different. So, and it's not like one thing is better than the other. It's just the knowledge of, what's the right um, dose or level of heat and cold, hot and cold, or fire and you know, cold. What's the right levels for if you start with fire already and you add more, then you've just um, you're perhaps putting fuel on the fire instead of the balance, right? So enough talk again. I'm going to work on cells. So we're not trying to like fix these things, right? We're working on how we integrate with nature. And I want to spend a little bit of time just with the heart chakra now. Color green, complementary pink, like rose quartz. Just that also idea of love. So if there's too much fire, again, back to the fire, then it might cause imbalance, maybe anger, jealousy, things like that, or not enough is going to be, um, you know, indifference. So we want to have that, but they say that spark. Well, we want to be able to be connected without you know too much of anything. So we want enough to feel the connection, the love, the care, the all the things that go well with that heart, feeling connected, both body and mind. And okay, so back to the heart chakra for a minute. Make sure there's a nice gentle spin. Okay, great. Let's just spend a moment in gratitude. Bring your hands in front of your heart. So we just and then rub the hands together a little bit, create a little bit of warmth. And then just separate them a little bit. Just back in and close to each other. See if you feel tingling or any sensation there. And then we can spread it a little wider. Keep your breath nice and easy. Just widening out the hands, bring them together. And then we're going to do something that we do often every time in this, but raise the arms up like you're catching a large golden energy ball, like a beach ball. It's light as a feather. And then just gently bringing it down, compressing it toward the heart. We'll do it one more time. So inhaling, like you're filling that ball up, just like your lungs are being filled. And then we squeeze the air out and the energy out of the ball. And then we'll take the palms, face them toward the heart. Again, keep the breath nice and smooth. Imagine all that energy from the golden light just permeating every cell, every area of your being, your body, your mind. Bringing the nice full inhalation, bring the hands back in front, and then exhale, extending and sending that energy out into the universe. Keep the flow going through your body. We don't want it to be blocked. So we'll do it 2 more times. Inhale, exhale. One more time, inhale. Again, remember, moving from the heart out to the shoulders as you exhale, and then out through the arms and the hands. So your attention, the energy follows your attention, and you extend it, spread it out into the universe, and it's intelligent, it's consciousness. So it knows what to do. If your intention is to be of service, it will be of service. Good. Okay, so we're going to wind up for today. If you have any questions, and if you're on this call, you probably received, if you're on the Zoom, you probably received a text message, and you can always pass it along to friends. If you have any questions, you can give me text me and explain who you are if I don't know you, that is. And, if you have any questions, and I'd be happy to speak with you. So have a beautiful rest of your week. And we normally meet on Mondays. So we'll see if there's any change. I always give you guys, if you're on the call list, then I'll send out either a reminder or a just a little notice that we're changing, just because life happens sometimes. So that's why we're here on Tuesday. So thank you again all for being here, and I'll say namaste, peace, and have a beautiful rest of your week. So thanks everybody for being here.
Namaste Ji.
Okay. Bye, everybody.